what does that actually mean, that kind of thing. But the national media in general have been hooked onto this minority, majority, tribal, non-tribal, and you have created Meitei as the villain and minority, tribal as a victim and so on. That's why you forget that, ethnic cleansing of Meiteis have happened in Churachandpur, for examples. You understand? So it is a communal class, and innocent people have been slaughtered in Imphal as well. You see, but whether you will call it as an ethnic cleansing in the way the UN defines it, but if you see that definition and apply in what happened to the Meiteis in Churachandpur, there is no doubt that it is an act of ethnic cleansing. But the national media can never capture that, because you are hooked onto a framing of minority, majority, tribal, non-tribal. You see, it's a fundamental question should have been asked, such as whether the federal structure is in operation, is Article 355 in actual operation. They should have been worried simply because this is majority is Hindu and this is BJP government. I get a feeling that national media has hooked onto that perspective, and they have tried to fit in the information and the data according to that framework that has twisted the reality. You can check it for yourself here.
So you think the national media misread the situation?
Yeah, and in fact, we have carried out a research work using media study theories and methodology. We have found it out that national media did not follow Press Council of India's standard or the norms completely. In fact, I'll give you the report. You will be shocked that you might not believe your eyes that liberal press in India can be so twisted in their handling of the Manipur crisis.
So, staying on this question of the state's retreat, so do you think this vacuum, it is this very vacuum which is being filled by bodies like the ILTF in the hills and Aram by Bengal in the valley?
It's not only these organizations, there are
these organizations somehow appear to be enjoying a lot of social legitimacy also.
Absolutely, because the state has failed, That's the tragedy. When the state fails, and that's what I said, privatization of violence. The state should have monopolized this legitimate use of physical force, right, to maintain law and order. But they didn't do it. When it was Manipur was, I don't know how the national media feel about this. When you images, you try to join this whole conflictual framework, either trying to create victim out of Meiteis or a victim out of Kuki, or villain out of Meitei and so on. Rather than seeing that in the state of Manipur, which is a part of India, you have situations like Rwanda. You understand? And rather than worried about it and then asking for imposition, you say, Meitei government, and you hook onto that tonal quality of reporters. This is the saddest part of how the national media have responded. It will remain as a blot in the history of press in this country. And that's what in our studies we have found it out. How many sources you have cited. In an incident X, for example, when you report, the sources quoted is majorly belong to the Kuki tribes and so on. When you name a particular place of burning, you will say unidentified people, burn down houses belonging to a particular community. You will not identify this as the Meiteis. But when it comes to the other way around, you say tribal houses were vandalized, and you see, identified it. The victimhood of the other community is hidden. And we have statistical analysis, how many times these sources have been mentioned. A particular incident, there is not a single vantage point of the Meitei villagers or otherwise. It's all ITLF and Kuki. You see, that tells you the way of the reporters. And simple facts like, there is a theory in media, inverse pyramid. Major informations and Meitei killing has been put at the 1-2 sentences at the end of the news. Then you say when Meiteis died, you said 3 Meiteis died in firing incident. And when you report about Kuki, there says 3 Kukis were killed. So kill versus died, killed by, So there is a way in which linguistic usages have done. It's absolutely unacceptable, This is against Press Council of India standard. Opinion pieces you are supposed to, according to norms in PCI, is supposed to be based on staff list and verified facts. And then these intellectuals of Kukis wrote saying that wetlands have been declared in Kukizo area. You just check it. Not a single place in this state has been declared wetland, including Loktak Lake under 2017. So it's a blatant lie. And then said forests have been declared as reserve and protected, as if it is done by this government and so on. The last forest which has been declared was in 1990, and that too in Nomai Jing Hill, the hills that you see right here. You see?
Right.
But instead, these elites of these people have created, they have declared so many forests as protected in Kukizo area, and wetlands have been declared and so on. So it creates anxiety among the people, and enmity has been encouraged. And these people have been allowed to carry on these narratives in the opinion pieces, in editorial articles. And PCI standard says that even the opinion pieces, author must ensure that their analysis is based on factual, verified and staffless facts.
So,
do you understand what I'm saying? These are not myths. We have the report and analysis of all these date and time in a newspaper, content analysis, all of these things are there. So this is where I think national media must look into themselves, why they did like this.